I think, for me, Jaipur is not a job. It's my passion. I would never do it. It takes a
That's
lot
great.
of...
You make your hobby as your profession and you don't have to work as
Even
well.
advertising, when I walked into it and walked out of academia, it was a choice I made. Nobody forced me. In fact, if anything, my parents, and especially my dad, would have been happier if I'd stayed on and been an academic or been a civil servant or whatever.
Hello everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you on the platform of Indore Management Association. Friends, future belongs to those who believe in their dreams. We are proud to host third Women Leadership Conclave under IMA in the historic city of Ahilya Bai Holkar, a visionary queen known for her progressive leadership, spirit of entrepreneurship and welfare of her people. Continuing her legacy, we are excited to bring together women leaders from diverse fields to carry forward the values of strength and vision this city stands for. Hi, I am Sushma Nandi representing IMA and we have Ms. Preeta Singh as our guest. Welcome Preeta to platform of Indore Management
Thank you,
Association.
Sushma. Lovely to be here.
Preeta is co-director, Jaipur Literature Festival and president of Teamwork Art, Delhi. We are honored to have you here and excited for an insightful conversation with you.
Thank you.
So Preeta, our viewers would like to know how you started your professional journey.
Well, my professional journey predates the festival. So I started working soon after my master's in Delhi. And I got into a profession of what we call today advertising and media.
That's great.
So yes, so I was very clear, and I actually walked out of doing my MPhil, and therefore my parents weren't very happy, especially my father. You have to understand, way back in the 70s, it was a virtue to study for women and to get into professions like teaching or be, government officers, and nobody really, because they expected, parents and society expected you to get into work if you must, and then be a married person, raise a family and all that. So much as my older sisters went through that and things, I just wanted to do something for myself. So that my journey was slightly different. I dropped out of doing my PhD. I got into advertising. I got into work without salary, because work in Delhi was impossible in advertising. You had to go to Bombay, which my parents absolutely flatly refused when I was, 21.
So you had a struggle with family.
I had a struggle with my father more than my mother, and my mother was my mediator. She just said, you have to let the girls do.
So you had a big supporter in your family.
Yes.
So one more question about the Jaipur Literature Festival, as you are the co-director there. How did this festival evolve and what was the original vision behind that?
Right. So firstly, I'm not the co-director. The festival directors of the Jaipur Literature Festival are two people, Namita Gokhale and William Dalrymple are the people who are the founder co-directors of the festival. Sanjoy Roy of Teamwork Arts, who's founded Teamwork Arts, is the producer. And I, who am right now the president in the company, look after and have built the brand and the business of Jaipur. So you have to understand that it's something that existed now. How did this start? It's a very interesting. Way back, the Virasat Foundation in Jaipur in Rajasthan wanted a much bigger cultural festival. And literature was a small part of it. From what history tells us, this thing kind of, the festival died out, but the literature piece, William and Namita kept it alive, and then Sanjoy joined the ranks, as it were, and built it to the first really meaningful platform, which was outside of a book festival. We all know book fairs in India, we all knew. But a literature festival, I think this was perhaps the first in the country of this scale and thing. There are many. Now there are, of course, 80, 90 of them.
Okay.
And my role is specific to building the business and the brand, and which is critical for it to grow.
Okay. So what was your strategy behind bringing it to this level?
Well, simple, you have to make it up. See, in a country of 1.3, 1.4 billion, regardless what the literacy is, whatever, if you look at the addressable audience, it's huge. It's
huge.
beyond huge. Why? Because of two reasons. One, anybody, anyone, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're whatever, we're all exposed to what I call oral literature. We've heard songs, we've heard stories, we've heard, however poor and however disadvantaged you are, there's joy in that life, there's storytelling in that life. And so I believe that the opportunity to take something like this and get more people in is huge. So, and I also believe, this is my personal view, that everybody has not just one story, but many stories to tell. And there is so much in this, and in a country like ours where we have a very rich tradition of various forms of story telling, and forget just storytelling. We live a very multi-dimensional life. At one level we're all spiritual, at another level we're all very practical, we've got to, we're in the rat race too. So there is so much happening, and culturally we are surrounded by this rich, multi-layered, civilization of amazing culture. So you can imagine this is a perfect ferment to create any amount of, and then we have language and dialect, which is so diverse.
Right.
10,000 dialects plus, 22 official languages. So the opportunity for this is huge. So how do you grow it? You make it up. You decide if this year 1,000 people have come and we've reached, 50,000 people because of whatever we did. Hey, let's scale it up, And the best thing that happened was COVID. It was a horrible event for humanity. It was the best. We thought we'd die, because that's the live festival. But we didn't die, we thrived. Because of two things. We suddenly said, if the whole world is locked up, they're thinking. And we launched something called the Brave New World, which was a purely digital series where we had people like Dr. Siddharth Mukherjee, we had people, experts sitting on the subject, and the subject was COVID. The subject was viruses, the subject was, life. And we had rich programming, we had huge audiences, and after that the world changed. We live in a hybrid world. There's nothing that you can't do sitting with technology, and you can connect with the world, and vice versa. So we managed to find that sweet spot between doing live, platforms like at Jaipur, and using the net and the digital world to reach more people. So today we reach over 300 million people.
Right. So everyone nowadays is rushing towards digital media. People are more inclined towards programming, software, generative AI, and such type of jobs, technology jobs they are looking for. So what tips would you like to give to our young entrepreneurs who want to make their career in cultural, art, literature and things like that?
I think that's a brilliant question, because if you look at it, look at our civilization. How many thousands of years, go back from the Indus Valley, go back to, we not only have a rich past, we have an exceedingly exciting present, because we have large numbers of young, we have equally large numbers soon of what I won't call them old, but more experienced, seniors in our society, in our country. So use them. They're your hotbed of knowledge. I mean, if I was young today, if I was in my 20s or 30s, there's nothing more I would do than go around the country, picking the minds, looking at the collective knowledge and experience that the older population has. And they're diverse. You could be a doctor, you could be a singer, you could be a dancer. I just met somebody who was talking about Popul Jaikar. I mean, these are legendary people. Some have passed, many are still with us. Use that cachet. It's there for you to use. They're not retirees, they're not people who've gone away. They're very much part of, and they're going to live long lives and productive lives. And tech enables you to get there. That's one. The second thing is, use tech to really, today, ChatGPT, whatever you use, whatever means you use, there is so much data that has been picked up and is sitting. So it's a library at the touch of a fingertip.
Right.
Use that. But most important, read. Because the more you read, the more you're going to really, your brain will start ticking, and you will decide, I want to be in this space, or I want to be in this space. And who's stopping you? Mix dance with music, music with words. It's entirely your imagination.
Right.
So you can serve whatever you want to young people, and the world has a huge, great population. Talk to them. They're sitting in Europe, they're sitting in Japan, they're sitting, and dance, music, theatre engages everybody. So it's entirely, I think this is the most exciting time to use tech, to use the cachet that we have in our experience in our country, and most important, our culture.
Right.
Just pick it up.
So the point was very much correct that you should read a lot to gain knowledge and be an expert of any field. So next question is, in the era of digital and short attention span, how do you see the role of literature and festival evolving?
That's again a very, very, this is a question that, we often, an issue that we often discuss. I think while there's a challenge, there's a massive opportunity. The challenge is true. I mean, if you look at me in my 60s, the amount I surf and scan and look at stuff is unprecedented. I've never done this before. How often do I pick up a book? I do pick it up, but do I read it continuously? No, I don't. Because there is an onslaught of information at me.
Right.
Now, what do you do in this? I think there are great opportunities. The fact that literature has become available in audio form, call it a podcast, what we're sitting and doing, call it a more serious podcast, which people like William and many other authors have, or critics have put together on a particular subject or a particular genre. So using tech and not beat them at their game, but meet them at their stage. If people want to get bite-sized stuff, take that for 40-minute interaction that you're having in the case of our festival. We've experimented with short format discussions as well, and edit them not to lose the meaning, but to give the audience a bite size, and then move them back to the YouTube or wherever, and it works. So there are times when you want to surf and you want to quickly get it, and there are times when how do we watch a film? Why do we binge watch? All that happens.
Right.
It's the same human being. So if you know what are the insights, you can very well represent that. And there are lots of ways, and I think tech is only in enhancing and enabling that. So take our country where we can't read many people, but now you can hear the stories.
Right.
Isn't that a brilliant unlocking of opportunity? So there's lots.
Nice to hear from you. Outside this literature and your profession, what are your hobbies and passion, and where from you get all this energy and motivation?
I think, for me, Jaipur is not a job. It's my passion. I would never do it. It takes a lot
great.
of...
You make your hobby as your profession, and you don't have to work a
Even
single
advertising, when I walked into it and walked out of academia, it was a choice I made. Nobody forced me. In fact, if anything, my parents, especially my dad, would have been happier if I'd stayed on and been an academic or been a civil servant or whatever. So what I've done in my life is what I wish to do. So work becomes a means of, a great life. It's not a chore or a thing. There are times when it's challenging. So that's one. The second thing, what do? I love going to and exposing myself to new things. The reason I'm here today is for nothing else, and I'm blown away. If I hadn't come, it's my loss.
Right.
I would have never known that
So you keep exploring new things always.
I travel a lot. I expose myself to new things. I read. I meet people, diverse people. And to me, that's my biggest... Of course, I do my other stuff of sport and music and all that. But the main thing is my motivation is exposing myself to new experiences.
That's
new
great.
things, new people.
Any 3 key points or the skills one must have to start their journey?
I think skills, whether you're starting your journey or... We're living long lives. We're living in a very complex, call it VUCA world, call it whatever. There's no certainty. There's no... What is good today may not be good tomorrow. There's constantly an evolving environment in which we find ourselves, whether you're young, whether you're middle-aged, whether you're older, whatever. So I think what really everybody must possess, and I value these, call them qualities, skills, first and foremost is a self-belief, a belief that you're here, there's a divine reason why I'm here. So what is that for? And respect and value yourself for that. If I value
That's more
myself,
important.
yeah, nothing can, and that there is, in my case, I believe there's a divine power. So while that's there, I must do my bit. And I'm here, and I'm, here for a reason. So that's one thing. The second thing is nothing is ever done. There's so much to expose and learn, and every interaction, every reading, every action is
Teaches you
is
something.
learning. Yeah, you
Is
please
learning.
be
Every
curious,
action,
be
whenever you
curious,
meet
be
with-
learn, be expose yourself. And the third most important thing is try and share that with others. Some people, I call it a leg up. It's not that you have to go out there and keep writing checks and doing daan and whatever. No. Share. I have this simple theory of mine, which is my circle of influence. I am not anything unusual, but I have a circle of influence, whether it's my cleaning maid, whether it is the child that I've seen on the road, can I help him or her to get to school, whether it is somebody in trouble, in career counseling, whatever it is, be within your circle of influence, keep radiating. Keep doing. That's enough. People say, "Oh, you can't change the world," but you can certainly change what you can influence. Keep doing that till your dying day.
So thank you so much, Preeta, for being with us today. And I'm sure our viewers will be benefited with your knowledge and experience you have shared with us. So looking forward to see you again on the platform of Indore Management Association. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has really been a pleasure, and I must say I've cherished this day and a half that I've been here. Thank
Most
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.